act like a news reporter.
Yeah.
I'm standing here, Rob, at the...
Okay, well, hello. I'm Chris Saltz, Chief Revenue Officer at Connext. What Connext does is we provide large multi-site enterprises with expert deployment services at scale, as well as managed services and break-fix solutions. A little bit of a backdrop, and it's short. I was brought in as a strategy advisor about 6 weeks before joining the company to evaluate a real opportunity that they had to pivot their go-to-market. They were in dire need of some disruption. They'd had a channel partner-focused business for years. They were looking to do a revenue shift mix to direct as well as channel, and the website, the go-to-market messaging, the HubSpot instance that they had set up, it was just not up to the task of doing that, and it's a very big job. So we brought in RevPartners. They did a great assessment of our situation. We asked them to be very, very frank with us on how they graded it, letter grade, F through an A. It was a D, and our goal was to get it in about 6 months' time up to about a B+. And so the way that we're working with RevPartners, we have been working with them to get better visibility into our data. We've worked with them to get our sales stages realigned. We've worked with them to really turn the tool, unleash the tool into way more than just a CRM that tracks things. But we're now doing Clay contact enrichment. In addition to that, we're using that to drive MQLs, drive SQLs. So we're engaged both on the platform side, the RevOps side, as well as in their Allbound program. And we've seen already quite a bit of success in that. Diana is the one that came in and did the initial assessment, and she's been wonderful. The team we've been working with, Stephen Russell, Maya Voss, Stephanie Wheeler, Lexi, Jess, they've all just been tremendous. I really do see them as like my partners in this whole effort. Similar to my situation, my job was to come in and help them to define their ICP and to define the brand narrative. And for me to be able to do that, and then for me to be able to get the real honest assessment from Diana and RevPartners on where we stood, where were we on the maturity curve? And it lined up with pretty much what I thought. And we were glad to have that transparency. It was an honest assessment. It probably could have even been an F, to be honest with you. But to be able to get it from, the grade they gave us to, in 6 months' time, a B+, that's pretty incredible. Most people, I think, would strive to be at that level, and we'll do better over time as well. But yeah, they've been phenomenal. And when I ask, I'd say the thing that really sets them apart when you think about it from a consultative point of view, as Chief Revenue Officer, I know our ICP, I know our brand narrative, I know what we're tasked to do. Sometimes I don't always have the best handle on, particularly with some of the modern approaches here, how to do it. And I count on them, and I tell them all the time, come back to me with recommendations, or if you see that I have the right idea, but I may be thinking about going at it the wrong way, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to get upset with you. I want to be advised, on top of that. So it's been an incredible relationship for us. When I came into the business, we had a pretty large pipeline, and as a strategic advisor prior to joining the business, I was impressed by the size of the pipeline. You don't necessarily get a real look at the quality of the pipeline that underlies that. So when I came in and there was, probably 40-50% of it was just not good. And I had to go deal by deal by deal inspection. Whereas what we have been able to do together, one of the most impactful things to me, we enabled the HubSpot deal scoring. So now when I take a look at my open deals view, I stack rank them by deal score and by the two deal flags. I think it is aging and needs follow-up. And when we have deals that are scoring less than a 25 and they're 6 months old and nobody's called them in 30 days, we wipe those out. They're gone. That's a very simple, easy metric to be able to look at, to know how to deal with that. And so therefore the bottom, when you're always in the process of grooming and cutting out the bottom while you're adding to the top, you're creating quality as well as quantity. And that was really a real help for me. It knocked out weeks of pipeline scrubbing, and it's now part of our daily routine of just weeding the garden, if you will. There are a lot of reasons I would use them again in other future endeavors of mine. I would say if you're a revenue leader within a company that is in the midst of disruption, that is in the midst of a go-to-market shift, that is in the midst of, if you will, a turnaround, they're great partners in doing that. They will help you get the visibility you need into your pipeline to be able to drive better results, to be able to measure performance, to be able to report to your board or your leadership team. All of those are critical success factors for any revenue leader, and they're a great partner in doing that.